AOC is a radical extremist who wants to, who is now abusing her powers as a House member to try to intimidate the court with this sham impeachment effort. So AOC did something nasty this week, unsurprisingly, given her politics. And she sought the impeachment of Justices Alito and Justices Thomas. So here's her tweet. Today, I introduced articles of impeachment against Supreme Court Justices Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito. And of course, she's making these false allegations that they committed some wrongdoing through accepting gifts that they're allowed to accept under the ethics rules and the law, and falsely implying they were accepting gifts that required their recusal. And there's no evidence that any of that took place. And so she's not even right on the appearance issue, let alone the explicit law ethics provisions that apply to the conduct of Supreme Court justices. And of course, with Supreme Court justices, and she's probably right in the sense that the only way to police them ultimately is through the impeachment mechanism. But impeachment doesn't work here because there's no underlying violation of law or ethics or anything else requiring impeachment. It's just an intimidatory action by a radical leftist to target and abuse the Supreme Court. And this is how I responded. I retweeted her. And I said, communists like AOC hate an independent judiciary and therefore want to destroy the Supreme Court. So this is a partisan extremist plan to undo the Supreme Court. It's core to the functioning of our constitutional republic to have three branches of government, independent, separate from each other. Obviously, it doesn't mean they're unchecked, but the check that's in place for the court doesn't apply here because there's no misconduct at issue. They're trying to punish Justice Thomas in part because of his race. They don't like the fact he's a Black conservative. Targeting Justice Alito and his spouse as well. Of course, Justice Thomas's wife, Ginny Thomas, my friend. Just completely outrageous, just trying to destroy their families with fake allegations of misconduct, just like what they're doing to all their other political opponents. In fact, not only are they trying to impeach her or them through this sham impeachment effort, this abusive impeachment request by AOC, but Sheldon Whitehouse, who has ethics problems of his own, Judicial Watch filed a complaint about him. Essentially, it looks like putting his thumb on the scales to help his wife's interests and clients. He's demanded a criminal investigation of Justice Thomas by the corrupted, conflicted, compromised Justice Department run by the Biden gang. Now, typically that would be laughed out of the Justice Department, but with this Justice Department, who knows? Really outrageous abuse by both Senator Whitehouse and AOC. Now, typically, AOC ignores these types of tweets I put out or others put out against her, but this one must have stung because she responded to my tweet. So this is what she said, and it was a non-responsive, smart aleck comment, kind of a tweet. That's fine. Maintaining an independent judiciary means impeaching corrupt justices, AOC responded to me, when they take millions of dollars in, quote, gifts, unquote, from people with business before the court. As I said, that's factually inaccurate. They weren't, quote, gifts, unquote. They were gifts allowed for under the rules that left-wing justices similarly have taken from their friends. Hope this helps, she writes. You can find Schoolhouse Rock on YouTube. And those of you who don't remember Schoolhouse Rock, it was a cartoon that was run during the 70s that provided little history lessons to young people on Saturday mornings. And let me run this so AOC understands what our Constitution says, as sung well by Schoolhouse Rock.
We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare and secure the blessings of liberty. To ourselves and our posterity do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
So I find it very interesting that AOC is worried about ethics of Supreme Court justices. As I recall, she's facing an ethics investigation, isn't she? Over gifts, expensive tickets she receives to attend this big Met Ball that happens every year, which is basically a big fundraiser for the Met up in New York, where the Hollywood stars and everyone who wants to be seen come dressed up. And you may recall she wore some odd get up with a political statement at the event, and in order to get that the ability to attend the event, she received a valuable ticket that she arguably isn't able to receive under the law. So here it is, the pot calling a kettle black on ethics issues by AOC. And to be clear, AOC is a radical extremist who wants to, who is now abusing her powers as a House member to try to intimidate the court with this sham impeachment effort that is not in retaliation, not as based on any good faith concern about ethics, but purely based, on my opinion, based on a bad faith effort to retaliate against justices who rule the wrong way, and even worse, are persuasive in how they rule. Of course, Justice Thomas is a particular threat to the left because he's a Black conservative and undermines their whole narrative about how minorities can only be represented by commies, right? And Justice Alito wrote the decision overturning Roe versus Wade, so they really hate him. And they're abusing him because his wife had flags that are perfectly appropriate. It's just, I don't even want to explain what their argument is, because to explain it is to even give it more life than it deserves. So AOC is attacking me because I'm calling out her abuse of government as a government official. So good. Bring it on, right? We'll keep on battling, and we're not going to be intimidated by this powerful congressman into being quiet about her abuse of office. And it is abuse of office. And by the way, what you should do is let AOC know what you think about her efforts to impeach and abuse Justice Thomas and Justice Alito. You can call the Capitol Hill switchboard at 202-225-3121. That's 202-225-3121. Ask for her office. And I would encourage you to communicate how you feel about it respectfully. Just remember, it's just a regular staff person who's answering the call, and just say, what you think about it. And while you're doing it, talk to your other members of Congress, in the House especially, and let them know what you think about this effort. And you should expect them to stand up against this issue. That's what at least I would say. So there you have it. Defend Judicial Watch, right? And defend the rule of law. Defend the Constitution.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.